Throughout the following announcement, please excuse some technically difficulties concerning word choice due to the fact that we are all absolute morons, I think. With that, welcome to Zionsville Fools' fall production of Community High School by Seaman Nile. Zionsville Community High School's spring production of Fools by Neil Simon. Please take a moment to locate your cellular rectangle and turn the volume all the way up. You can turn that volume back down, nice and loud during our 10-minute intermission. Please, no flash photography during the show, as our actors are afraid of lights. In addition, take one last moment to locate the nearest exit in the rare event of a fire or emergency. We didn't make a joke in that previous sentence because fire is very scary. Now, sit up, stress out, and tolerate the show.
It's exactly as I pictured. Quaint, pleasant, quiet, not too large. Well, the perfect place for a new schoolmaster to begin his teachings. Well, to be honest, I did spend 2 years in Moscow teaching tiny tots rudimentary spelling and math, but this here is my first bona fide. Bona fide teaching appointment as a full-time schoolmaster. And honestly, I never even heard of Kolyachnikov until Dr. Zubritsky posted an ad in my college journal. And even though the job was in the remote Ukraine, I jumped at the chance. My heart is just pounding with excitement, and I don't mind telling you that. I have this passion for teaching. Greek, Latin, astrology, classic literature. I get goosebumps just thinking about it. I don't see anyone around, though, so perhaps I arrived a little early. I am one of those extremely eager and enthusiastic types who's up at the crack of dawn ready to begin their work. This is a very, very auspicious day in my life. Good morning!
Oh, good morning. Have you seen 24 sheep?
24 sheep?
Yes, there were 14 of them here earlier.
No, I'm sorry.
Well, if you do, can you send them a letter?
For the sheep?
Yes. Tell them the shepherd is looking for them, and when you find them, that they should tell you where they are, and I will come and rescue them. Thank you.
Wait, excuse me, but your name, please?
Snetsky.
And your first name?
How soon do you need mine?
Well, you know what? Forget the first name.
I did.
Well, I'm Leon Stefanovich Tolchinsky. I'm going to be the new schoolmaster.
Is that a fact? It's nice to meet you, Leon. I am something Snetsky. Will you be staying tonight?
No! You don't understand, but Kolyachnikov will be my new home. I'm going to live here and teach here, and if I may say so, I am an excellent teacher.
Oh, they all were. They came by the thousands, yet not one of them lasted throughout the night. Man, these things are so hard to blow. I don't know how the sheep do it.
You've had thousands of teachers?
More. Hundreds! We're unteachable, all stupid in Kolyachnikov. There isn't a town, nor a village, more stupid than all of Mother Poland!
Russia.
Whatever. All good people, mind you, just not a decent brain among them. Whew. That felt good. My ears just popped open. What were you saying?
So are you telling me that every man, woman, and child are more or less
All stupid, including me. Hang around 15 minutes or more, you'll begin to notice.
by Dr. Zubritsky to teach his young daughter?
Teach his daughter? Impossible. She's hopeless. 19 years old. She recently just learned how to sit down. She's hopeless. 19 years old. She doesn't even know the difference between like a cow and a duck. Not that's a very easy subject, mind you.
Something is definitely up here. You know, I didn't think much of it then, but when I first read the advertisement, I did notice that every word was misspelled. Well, I'm sure Dr. Zubritsky can explain all of this. Oh. Well, thank you, Citizen Snetsky. You've been most helpful. I enjoyed our chat.
As did I, Master Tolchinsky. You know, he's not the only one who can have private thoughts. I can have private thoughts as well. The only trouble is, I can never seem to think of a thought to have in private. Anyway, so long, schoolmaster.
Well, I'm sure we'll meet again.
Yes, and if you do, just mention my name. Snetsky, the sheep loser. Bye.
Might have been all well to him. But I was beginning to have my doubts. Well, how do you do? I was just talking to a shepherd named Snetsky.
Oh, yes, something Snetsky. We know him well.
Yes, a pleasant enough fellow, and, well, I don't want to seem unkind saying this, but a little deficient in his mental alertness.
That's Snetsky, all right. He was kicked in the head by a horse.
Oh, no, what a pity. When was that?
Tuesday, Wednesday, twice on Friday, and all day Saturday.
Well, what fragrant wares do you have to sell, madam? Perhaps I might buy some for my new employer. How much, please?
The flour is 2 kopecks and the halibut is 3.
I beg your pardon?
Well, if that's too much, I have a nice light fish for 1.5.
Perhaps the dialect is a little different in this part of the country. Well, would one of you be so kind as to point me in the direction of Dr. Zabritsky's home?
That way!
Well, thank you. Perhaps I will go in the one direction you haven't pointed to. Well, a pleasure meeting you all. Oh, I'm sorry. Have you found your sheep?
Not yet. Who was that?
The new school teacher!
Another one? I just saw one 15 minutes ago. They must be having a convention here.
Oh, Count Yusakevich, what the hell is not going to be too happy about this?
That's right. Katniss Coach doesn't like new school teachers.
Why?
He's afraid they'll break.
What curse?
The one that made students since the day we were born.
Oh! That one.
Yes, I've been stupid for 51 years. Oh, what about you, Snitsky?
Well, I'll be done 43 next July.
And you, Slavich? 53 for me. What about you, Yansina?
I just turned the corner at 26.
K, E, 5, L, A, R, V. Is that right?
I don't know. It sounds good to me. Yes. Yes. Very interesting.
Then I'm in good health.
The best of health. You'll live to be 80.
80? I'm 79 right now.
Well, you've got a wonderful year ahead of you.
That's good. I am the magistrate. I must keep up my strength. Law and order must be preserved.
Did you want a prescription?
What for?
Oh, I don't know. Some people like prescriptions. Here, take this, bring it to the druggist, pick out something you like, and take it 3 times a day with a little water. Goodbye, sir.
Well, what do I owe you?
Oh, forget it, forget it. If I ever go to medical school, you can send me a little something.
Okay, thank you, sir. Goodbye.
Nikolai, he's here. He's come. He arrived not 2 minutes ago. He's young, and he looks strong and determined. Maybe this will be the one. Nikolai, maybe this will finally be our salvation.
Calm yourself, Linya. Who's come? Who's here? Who will be our salvation?
The new, what do you call them? They come and we had one once, but no more.
Oh God, I know who you mean.
They have a place, and then you go to the place.
And they point to you, and they say, or they ask if you...
And if you don't, they say, why didn't you? Next time I'll make you.
And he's outside?
He's just down the street.
Well, show him in, Linya. And pray to God that this will be the one to deliver us and all of Killian Shikov from this dreadful, oh God, what is it we have again?
I know. It sounds like nurse.
Nurse.
Or hearse.
Hearse.
Something like that.
Something like that. Or is it a knock?
We have a knock.
Yes, open the knock. The other way.
Oh, won't you come in, young man?
Well, Dr. Zubritsky and Madam Zubritsky, I'm Leon Stefanovich Tolchinsky.
So, you were the new...
Oh, yes, I'm he.
It's he, Linya. The new...
But you look so young to be
Well, not at all. I think in time you will find, if I may say so. I am an excellent young, well, I don't want to seem immodest.
Oh, no, please be immodest. We love immodesty.
the more modesty, the better. The best young what?
Well, the best young teacher in all of
A
Russia.
teacher! He's a teacher! The new teacher is here!
Oh, God, the teacher is here.
Oh, thank you. I'm most welcome to this warm and open reception.
Come inside, teacher. Take off your coat, teacher. Linya, bring the teacher a cup of tea. Sit down, teacher.
Would you like some tea, teacher? Maybe some paper and pens, teacher. Perhaps you'd like to start teaching right away, teacher?
Well, no one is more eager than I am. Madam Zubritsky, these are for you.
Oh, whitefish! I saw them on sale today. Thank you.
How can we help you?
Well, there are a few questions I wanted to ask you.
Questions! That's what they ask when they point to you and you don't know. He knows what questions are. I can tell this is going to be a good one.
Master Tolchinsky, would you be so kind as to ask us a question? Any question at all?
It's been so long since anyone has asked us a good school question. Please.
Oh, well, of course. Well, there is a question, and then there's questions. Would you like a question on mathematics, or perhaps a question on science, or maybe even a philosophical question?
The first one sounds good. The philosophical one. Ask us that one.
Very well. What is the purpose of man's existence?
Oh, what a question. Linya, did you ever hear such a beautiful
I'm
question?
speechless to think somebody would ask us a question like that.
Well, aren't you interested in the answer?
Oh, not today, thank you. To ask a question like that in our lifetimes is more than we ever expected. The answer should be given to someone much more worthy than we are.
But it's your birthright. Knowledge is everyone's birthright.
Everyone not born in Killian Shikov.
Well, I don't understand.
You would if you knew about the nurse.
The nurse.
Not the nurse, the hearse.
What hearse?
He means the purse.
Well, what kind of purse?
The kind of person that inflicts the wrath of God upon all those souls that were unfortunate enough to be born in this pitiful village.
Do you mean perhaps a curse?
Curse! That's what it is. I knew it sounded like that.
We were so close, so close.
Well, what is this curse you speak of, Dr. Zubritsky?
Linya, bolt the door. Draw the curtains.
I can't draw curtains. I could draw a cat or a fish.
Never mind that. Lower your voice.
How low do you want my voice?
That's low enough. Bring the book. It's on the shelf. Young man, have you ever heard of the curse of Killian Shikov?
Oh, well, no, I can't say that I have.
You can't say that? That's not hard. Even Linya can say that.
The curse of Kolechnikov.
What is this curse?
200 years ago, a curse was placed on this village that struck down every man, woman, child, and domestic animal, including all of their ancestors for generations to come, leaving each and every one of them with, and this you'll find hard to believe, no more intelligence than a bump on a log.
Dr. Zubritsky, I don't believe in curses. Curses are old wives' tales.
Oh, you're thinking of Nochka. In Nochka, all the old wives have tails. That was their curse. Our curse is altogether different.
But who would inflict such a cruel punishment on such a peaceful and simple village?
Oh, welcome indeed. It's all documented here in the Book of Curses. I thought you said you tested this.
I did. I put dust on it Yesterday.
Here, read it for yourself. The page is marked.
Thank you. Oh, it's all stuck together.
We marked it like maple syrup. Read it to us.
Well, on the morning of April 11th in the year 1691, in the village of Koyechikov, two young people fell hopelessly in love.
I knew it. Whenever young people fall in love, you know a curse is coming.
But haven't you heard all of this before?
Oh, many times. We never understand it. It's a very well thought out curse.
So, what happens next?
Well, the boy was a young, handsome, but illiterate farmer named Kazimir Yusukevich. The girl was the daughter of the most learned man in town, Nikolai Zubritsky.
Oh, Zubritsky! I've heard that name before.
I've seen it. On the front door somewhere. In this neighborhood.
It's on your front door. Your name is Zubritsky?
Wait a minute. That means that the young man in the curse may possibly be related to our front door!
Mind you, I'm dealing with the intelligent ones now. I continue. The young girl's name was Sophia Zubritsky. Dr. Mayer is the name of your young daughter.
Sophia.
Sophia Zubritsky. The identical name of the girl in the curse over 200 years ago.
I can't believe it. Unless our daughter's been lying about her age.
Well, the match was doomed from the start. When Sophia's educated father learned that young Casimir was illiterate, he forbade Sophia ever to see Casimir again. Well, 6 months later, Sophia married a young student, and that winter, Casimir, distraught and despondent, took his life by plowing his own grave and planting himself in it. And upon hearing of his son's death, Casimir's father, Vladimir Yusukevich...
Triple.
Casimir's father, Vladimir Yusukevich...
Triple.
Casimir's father, Vladimir Yusukevich...
Triple.
Caused people to tremble at the mention of his name.
Next time, don't mention his name.
Casimir's father, Vladimir Yusukevich... And so, sometimes known as the sorcerer because of his ability to summon the powers of the devil himself, brought all his wrath and fury down upon Koyechikov.
Here it comes.
A curse! A curse upon all who dwell in Koyechikov, he cried out. May the daughter of Nikolai Zubritsky, murderer of my only son, be struck down by the ignorance that caused my son's death. May stupidity engulf her brain, may incompetence encumber her facilities, may common sense become uncommon, and may reason become unreasonable. May her children be cursed as well. May all their children be cursed for eternity. May all who live in Koyechikov be born in ignorance and die in ignorance, unable to leave this cursed village until my final vengeance has been satisfied.
That explains why the train doesn't stop here.
I'll be honest. My initial impulse was to panic. Even my secondary impulse was to panic. To educate is one thing, but to bring curses is another.
Excuse me, Master Tolchinsky. Are you all right?
Yes, I'm fine. I was just thinking.
Lydia, he was thinking. What's it like?
You mean you don't know what thinking is?
Well, I don't, and she certainly doesn't.
Well, thinking, you know, what enables us to make decisions.
Decisions? No, I don't think we're capable of that.
Surely you know what you want.
Oh, dear God, yes. We desperately want someone to help us. Not so much for us. We've already lived our lives, but for your child, our sweet daughter Sophia.
Yes, and did you hear what you just said?
No, I wasn't listening.
It was a decision. You decided to help your young daughter, you think.
No, I don't think so. It just came out.
Yes, out of your head, in the center of thoughts, and if it's possible to have even one infinitesimal, insignificant thought, then it is possible to turn those thoughts into ideas, and those ideas into creativity, and creativity into comprehension, and finally supreme intelligence.
Would I be able to open up jars? I have terrible trouble opening jars.
Be patiently on, not everything in life comes easy. Patience. We will work to break this curse by the painstaking everyday task of education. I should like to start with your young daughter, Sophia.
Sophia?
Well, yes, it occurs to me that since the curse, over 200 years ago, started with the young Sophia Zabritsky, the answer may lie in her direct descendant. May I see her, please?
Not from here. We would have to send for her.
Do what the schoolmaster tests.
She may be taking her singing lessons now.
Oh, she takes singing lessons from who?
A canary. He does the best he can.
No words, mind you, just the toots.
I understand. Madam Zabritsky, will you please?
Remember, sweetheart, up the stairs and to the left. You'll find her a most delicate and sensitive girl. Not like the others in the village. She has so many interests. She's always occupied.
Oh, occupied with what?
She likes to do things. Interesting things, like touching things. Wood, metal, paper. She likes drinking. Water.
Master Tolchinsky, may I present to you our daughter, Sophia Irina Elena Zabritsky. Sophia, this is the new schoolmaster, Leon Tolchinsky.
Well, Mr. Zabritsky. Is that my breath that was just taken away? Is that vision before me even human, or have I too been cast under the spell? I've never felt such a stirring beneath my breast. She is your pupil, Leon, not the object of your dormant feelings of passion. Excuse me.
Do you know what he was just doing, Sophia? He was thinking. Isn't that wonderful?
Yes, Mama.
Papa, she is Mama, and I'm Papa.
Oh, won't you please sit down, Miss Zabritsky?
She did it! Oh, wasn't that a beautiful sit?
Yes! Certainly! Lovely! Miss Zabritsky, may I call you Sophia?
Sophia?
It's your name, sweetheart.
Say yes, darling. Say yes. You may call me Sophia.
No, please. We must allow the girl to speak for herself. I should very much like to be your friend, and would it please you if I called you Sophia?
It's been so long since she's taken a test.
I think she wants to say something.
I would be very pleased to have you call me Sophia.
There you are.
Oh, we're so proud, so proud.
Well, Sophia, I've traveled a very long way to help you with your education. And under normal circumstances, I have every reason to believe that you have incredible powers of creativity, comprehension, but for some reason or another, there has been a cloud put over those powers. And it is my every intention to lift that cloud so that enlightenment may once more shine through those bright, beautiful blue eyes. But I will need your help, Sophia. Will you lend me that help?
Yes. You may call me Sophia!
She did it again. That's twice in a row.
I should like to start with some very simple questions. Nothing too strenuous. I wouldn't want to be the cause of any furrow or frown on that fair face of yours. So, Sophia, what is your favorite color?
My favorite color.
Yes, Sophia, what is your favorite color?
Why is he being so hard on her? This is not a university.
Is it blue or red or green or orange or purple or anything at all?
I used to know that one.
My favorite color
Yes.
is yellow.
Oh, yellow! Oh, her favorite color is yellow. Why, Sophia? Why is yellow your favorite color?
Because it doesn't stick to your fingers as much.
I think she's wrong. I thought it was blue that doesn't stick to your fingers as much.
Well, there is a certain logic to her answer, and the fact that logic escapes me completely does not alter the fact that she has something in mind. Moving on, Sophia, if you could make one wish, what would you wish for? Do you know what a wish is?
Yes, a wish is something you hope for that doesn't come true.
Well, not exactly. If you could make a wish that did come true, what would you wish for?
What would I wish for?
Yes, Sophia, what would you wish for?
I would wish that I could fly like a bird, to soar over buildings and trees, to float on the wind and be carried far away, over mountains and lakes, over forests and rivers, to meet people in other villages, to see what the world is like, to know all the things I shall never know because my stories remain here in this place.
Sophia, that was the most beautiful wish I've ever heard. Well, don't you see what her wish means? Well, to soar over lakes and mountains means to sever the bonds that chain her ignorance. Well, she craves knowledge. Can't you see that? Well, I, Leon Stefanovich Tolchinsky, make this promise to you today that I will break this curse and educate Sophia Zubritsky.
If you could do that, schoolmaster, I'd be in your debt forever.
She touches me so. She has such a kind and pure heart. Well, I should like to begin right away. What subject would you like to begin with, Sophia?
I should like to begin with languages.
Languages, of course, even I should have thought of that. What language would you like to begin with?
Rabbit, I think.
Rabbit?
It's a very hard language, Rabbit. Hardly anyone speaks it anymore.
As long as she gets in a few phrases, it is enough to begin with.
Am I free for today?
Yes.
Then I shall go to my room.
Watch if she gets up from the chair. Watch. You didn't see it. Sophia, do it again.
No. It's fine. She's much past getting up from chairs.
They're so much brighter than in our day.
Until tomorrow, schoolmaster.
Never before have I looked forward to a morning as much as tomorrow's.
I think you're the most beautiful school teacher I've ever seen, Master Tolchinsky. I pray you not despair of Kulenchikov and that you will stay with us forever.
Oh, she found the door. She found the
I've
door.
never seen Sophia so radiant. Linya, are you thinking what I'm thinking?
I'm not even thinking what I'm thinking. What are you talking about?
I think our Sophia has taken a liking for the new schoolmaster.
Well, if Dr. Zubritsky, if that is true, then standing before you is the happiest man on the happiest planet in the universe. Tell me, is she spoken for?
Spoken for?
Well, yes. Does she have any suitors? Any young men desperately in love with her?
We don't talk of such things.
Why not?
There's no one. No one at all. Not even him.
Him?
Oh, he didn't mean him. He meant somebody else. Isn't him?
Well, who is it? I must know. I mean, it's of the utmost importance to me.
If I told you who him was, you must promise never to say it was I who told you it was him.
Well, I promise.
Have you ever heard of Count Gregor of Kuyenshikov?
Well, no, I can't say that I have.
I can't say that? That's not hard. Even Linya
No,
can say that.
no. I can say it, but who is this Count Gregor?
He's, one of them. The one who put the nurse on us.
Oh, Yusakevich.
The last of his line.
Well, tell me about him and Sophia.
He proposes marriage twice a day.
Twice a day?
6:15 in the mornings, 7:20 at nights.
He cares for her that much?
He cares only for avenging his ancestors. If Zubritsky marries Yusakevich, they will be satisfied and the nurse will be over.
Well, how does Sophia feel about it?
The poor girl has said no for many years, but I fear she can't resist much longer. She just wants to sleep in late one morning.
Well, If it is a rival I have, then I am more determined than ever to beat him. Well, bless you, the both of you, for your faith in me, and, well, I shall arrive tomorrow at 8 o'clock sharp, and tomorrow the education of Sophia Zubritsky begins. Oh, in all of my excitement, I forgot to ask you, what about lodgings?
Oh, don't you worry. We'll be very comfortable right here.
Of course you will.
Master Toltinsky, please, ask us again. Ask us the question. It makes us feel important.
Yes, very well. What is the purpose of man's existence?
I'm all choked up again. I'm sorry I asked.
Wait a minute. I think I know. I think I know what the answer is.
What are you talking about?
It's true. The first time I heard it, I didn't understand. But now suddenly something came to me. I know my limitations, but still, I think I really know the answer. Oh my God, what if I'm right?
Oh, tell me what it is!
I think it's 12. It's wrong. I can tell by the look on your face. 14.
Think you've missed the point?
It's less than 100. Even I'm not that stupid. 86. 43.
You know what? Don't think much about it. Get some sleep. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Bye.
Why couldn't you leave well enough alone? Why must you have answers? Aren't questions beautiful enough?
But what if I was right? I could have sold the answer. We could have made a fortune.
That's it. I'm leaving Koyachikov. I thought I might as well say goodbye. I thought I could stay and break this curse, but the moment that he said, well, now the task at hand is to forget Sophia. Oh, I must.
Schoolmaster!
Sophia? Where are you?
Down here! I had to see you once more.
Well, what are you doing out in the night air without crap? You'll come down with a chill.
I never catch colds.
You don't?
I've tried, I've just never learned how to do it.
Well, be grateful. There are some things not worth knowing.
I know that something has happened a long time ago that prevents me from knowing what happened a long time ago. If only you knew the way I might have been instead of the way I am.
Oh, but if you're not the way that you are, then I would not have come to help you become the way you might have been. Careful, you're beginning to think like her.
Could you ever care for someone who never became the way I might have been?
Care for someone who never became the way that... I see what you mean. Well, yes. Yes, I could. I would. I shall. I have. I do.
Is that rabbit you're speaking? It's hard to follow.
Well, if it sounds like gibberish, that's because you do that to me, Sophia. When words come from the heart, they tend to trip over the tongue.
Then I must watch where I walk when you speak. I must go. Everything rests on tomorrow.
Well, and if not tomorrow, then the tomorrow after tomorrow. And all the tomorrows for the rest of my days, if that's what it takes.
No, it all rests on tomorrow. If we fail, we shall never see each other again.
Never see each other again? What do you mean?
I never know what I mean. I do have thoughts, but they seem to disappear before they reach my lips.
Well, if I ever reached your lips, I would never disappear.
Would you like to kiss me?
With all of my heart.
No, I meant with your lips.
Oh, an even better suggestion.
Hurry, hurry!
Well, I'm climbing as fast as I can. Sophia? Where did you go?
Up here!
If only she were ugly, I'd be halfway home by now. Well, you stay there. I'll come to you.
All right.
You get the hang of it after a while. No, that's stupid. my kiss. Sweet Sophia.
As we kissed, I felt a strange flutter in my heart.
As did I.
You felt a strange flutter in my heart as well? How alike we are! Although your hair, it's so much shorter. I must go. I'm about to fall asleep and I want to get to bed in time.
Oh, I know the dangers of loving such a simple soul. I mean, a lifetime of blissful passion and, well, very short conversations at breakfast. Oh, best find some comfortable lodgings.
Did you hear that? Did you make that noise?
I beg your pardon?
That terrible noise!
Oh, no, Snetsky, that was thunder and lightning. It's caused by pressure changes in the atmosphere.
Well, whoever did this can make Count Yuskevich very angry at us.
Count Yuskevich?
Yes, he's that scary man. He lives up there, in a big house. And when he gets angry, he throws water down on us.
No, Snetsky, that's rain. Rain. Yes.
Umbrellas for sale! Get your umbrellas before he...
No one throws water. It's rain. It's caused by condensed moisture in the clouds.
You can tell that to these fools, but I was a substitute teacher.
Okay. Would either of you perhaps maybe
What's all the racket?
I knew it! I knew he would throw water on us today! Every time I wash my cow, you know he's gonna throw water!
Michigan, you wouldn't know perhaps it may be a place for me to stay tonight, would you?
Uh-oh. It's time for Count Yuskevich to propose again.
This could be the day when yes from her and we can all be smart again!
You mean you want Sophia to marry him?
Well, not of course she doesn't want to. But it would be nice to remember my first name again.
But that's such a terrible sacrifice to ask of her.
What kind of sacrifice? To live in a big house up on the hill, to eat little macaroons all day whenever you want, or to have a maid brush your teeth in the morning.
Yes, but does she love him?
I beg your pardon?
Well, does she love him?
We don't have any of that here.
Don't have any of what?
Love, it's part of the curse.
I'm afraid I don't understand.
I hear him coming. You'd better leave, schoolmaster. He doesn't like people around.
Yenshna. Is it true that there's no love in Kuyenchikov?
I wouldn't know. My late husband's been gone on this 14 years.
I'm sorry.
That's a long time to be late. I wish he were dead.
Honey. But is it true can Sophia not love me? Oh, I'm breaking into a cold sweat just thinking about it. I think I'm going to eavesdrop. Sophia! Sweet! Sophia!
One time to get proposed to. She's asleep. Perhaps a pebble will awaken her. Who did that? It is I, Count Yuskevich. Good evening, sir. I've come to propose. Well, you're a little late. I'm married almost 26 years.
Nikolai!
I'm out here, Lenya. What did you want?
Some bandages! My feet are bleeding!
It is I, Madam Zabritsky, Count Yusakevich. I've come to propose to Sophia.
Oh, she's busy pouring water on the drapes. They're on fire.
The drapes are on fire?
I had to light something. I couldn't find my candle.
What's going on?
Did we wake you, darling?
No, I was reading by the light of the drapes.
Oh, I must be crazy marrying into this family.
Count Yusakevich has come to propose. Go ahead, Count Yusakevich.
Can we be alone?
Oh, no, I think Sophia should hear this too.
Very well. Will you marry me, Sophia?
Oh my God, this is so romantic. I just wish my feet weren't bleeding.
I'm sorry, Count Yusakevich, but marriage is a very great step to take, and I do not wish to make it while I do not have the intelligence to know what I am stepping into. Good night, sir. Good night, Mama. Good night, Papa.
Oh, good night, son. When you're through reading, remember, put out the drapes.
I do not give up easily. I'll be back in the morning.
Good night, Grace.
Good night, Grace.
Watch what you're doing. You're burning my mustache.
Having them for in-laws is a curse worse than a curse.
Oh, pray God it never happens!
Who's that? Who said that? Come on, I say!
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just passing by. I am.
Oh, I know who you are. You're the new schoolmaster that's come here in a pathetic attempt to break the curse of Kuliachikov.
As I just witnessed your pathetic attempt to win Sophia.
Oh, everyone's a critic. The curse can only be broken if you can educate her, which you can't. Or if she marries me.
Which she won't! So why don't you go after some other girl?
Because Sophia is beautiful. Did you ever see the other girls in the village? They look like me.
You know, for a man so powerful, you have an inordinate lack of self-esteem. I'm sorry for you. Good day.
Not good day, one day.
I beg your pardon?
Were you not aware that if at the end of one brief day you do not succeed to raise her until you must be gone from our village? To remain for even a second past the allotted time means you will fall victim to the curse yourself! I love that part.
Will not believe such nonsense. Threaten me all you like, sir, but I quite frankly love Sophia Zabritsky.
Love? There's no love in Kolyachikov, it's all part of the curse.
And what?
You have one day to find that out, sir. One single day. 25 measly hours.
24.
What?
There's 24 hours in a day.
I believe you're thinking of February, sir. Good night.
But is it true? Well, if I can't educate Sophia in 24 hours, then she can never love me.
Leon,
Sophia? Oh, what is it?
I must speak with you.
Yeah.
Some place where will not be seen.
Oh, wherever.
Can you meet me here?
Oh, yes, when?
Now.
Oh, yes, of course, I'm there now.
Hurry, Leon, hurry. It's of the utmost importance. I overheard your conversation with the Count. Leon, I cannot be taught. You must leave Kolenchikov. Once.
But never without you.
Then take me with you, tonight.
But the curse.
Cannot be broken. But we can live in a swamp and eat brown roots, and I'll become old and ugly and more stupid and more ignorant and never love you. But at least we'll be together.
Well, that's not exactly what I had in mind.
We are lost.
No, Sophia. Tomorrow I will break this curse and save everyone in Kuyanchikov.
Leon, I wish I could love you.
You will. Tomorrow, I promise.
Until tomorrow.
I wish you'd sleep in the kitchen.
Leon, come back. Hurry.
What is it?
I can't sleep. I'm so frightened.
Oh, don't be frightened.
If I could know the feeling of loving you for even just one day, I would endure 100,000 years of Christmas. Good night, Leon. May God bless you and keep you.
You know, she asks not to be loved, but to know how to give her love on to another. I think I've wandered into a very special place here in Koyenchikov. You know, and quite frankly, I do love Sophia and Michigan, and Snetsky and Yenchna, and maybe even Count Yusikevich. Well, I pray to God that He gives me the strength to break this curse and get up and down that balcony. And well, I urge you to give the matter some thought yourselves, because after all, you are all within the bounds of Koyenchikov, so for my sake and yours, I hope I break this curse.
Leon, I forgot to tell you something.
Sophia, tomorrow. I can't take any more news tonight.
Salvage, any news?
About what?
What about the curse, of course?
How would I know?
Well, let's check the newspaper.
Oh, good idea. Ugh, it rained last night.
Where does it say that?
I can feel it. The paper's wet.
Your dog did that.
No, he's housebroken. He only does it inside the house. What's wrong with your cow?
He's tired. I've been milking him since 4 o'clock.
Upside down?
You get a little more cream that way. Cream! Fresh cream! Right from the top! Get it right from the spigot! 2 kopecks a mouthful! Cream!
Melania, let us pray. Pray for deliverance. Dear Lord who art in heaven, we are in Koyenchikov and we are in trouble.
We are a simple people, dear Lord.
We're not so simple that we don't believe in you.
Forgive us our sins, dear Lord.
We know not what we do because we know not what we do. God bless us. God bless our daughter. God bless the schoolmaster. God bless yourself. Whoever you are, amen. Was that the door?
No, I think it was someone knocking.
Well, answer it. Answer it. It must be the schoolmaster. Sophia, wake yourself up. Give yourself a nudge. It's time. The other way. The other way.
Do you know what time it is?
10 to 6.
8:15?
Quarter to 9.
We don't have a clock.
Pick any time you want. 10:20, 11:40. Is there something in there you like?
You don't understand. Yesterday, the Count said I had exactly 24 hours to break this curse. I arrived here exactly 9 a.m. yesterday. It's 8 o'clock now. That leaves me 1 hour. Not even 1 hour. I mean, I just wasted an entire minute telling you what's up.
Oh, what a shame. You just missed him. We finished services 2 minutes ago.
Oh, hurry up! Don't get Sophia!
Listen, I hear footsteps coming downstairs now.
Good morning, Mama. Good morning, Papa. Good morning, Schoolmaster.
She got all 3 right. This is gonna be her day. I know it.
And looking more radiant than ever.
Where shall we sit?
I'm afraid I will need Sophia's full concentration today. Doctor, I must ask you both to leave the room.
Oh, by all means, we'll see to it that you're not disturbed. Bye, Sophia.
Goodbye, my little angel.
Do what the schoolmaster tells you.
We'll be praying for you every minute.
If you succeed, schoolmaster, give us the signal by tapping the window 3 times quickly, followed by 2 times shortly.
Followed by 6 long ones.
If you fail, give us the signal by tapping 7 times quickly.
Followed by 3 times slowly.
If you want lunch,
Please!
leave. We're going.
Doesn't feel right. I can feel it in my bones.
He can hear you. Lower your voice.
I'm a mother. I know about these things. Why do you look tougher to me lately?
Sophia. Last night I realized that the task before us is one step beyond impossible, and that I would fail. And I would have to leave Koyachikov. But today, looking into your eyes, I know there is no life for me without you. Therefore, we cannot afford to despair. We must work to break this curse, and well, we'll need a miracle to do so, but with a supreme and majestic effort, we can get that miracle.
What is a miracle?
Well, a miracle is a wish that God makes. You are a miracle.
You mean God wished for me?
Yes, in one of his most sublime moments. Okay, we must waste no more time. Okay, just another briefcase. That's it. Okay. Sophia, this is a primary book on mathematics. It's used to teach very small children very simple tasks on arithmetic.
Do you think it's too advanced for me?
No, we can't go much farther back than this, so let us begin. 1 is the word, the number, the symbol for a single item. 1 book, 1 Leon, 1 Sophia. Okay, now, Sophia, I'm holding up 1 finger. Now I'm holding up a second finger. So 1 plus 1 is 2. Do you understand?
Which part?
That 1
That 1
plus 1
plus 1
is 2.
is 2.
Yes. Yes! Yes! Woo-hoo-hoo! I'm very proud of you! We are making headway. Slow, invisible headway. Let's move on.
Can we do history, please? I hope I can master it as well as I have mathematics.
Well, I don't think you've quite conquered mathematics yet. There are some problems that come up. So, let us continue. Do you remember the answer to 1 plus 1?
I remembered it before. Is it necessary to remember it again?
Yes. It's necessary to remember it for all time.
You mean you will always be asking me what 1 plus 1 is?
No, but once you know the answer to 1 plus 1, we can move on to things like 1 plus 2 and 2 plus 2. But if you do not know the answer to 1 plus 1, then the answer to 1 plus 2 is meaningless.
Do you know what 1 plus 1 is?
Certainly.
Then why is it necessary for me to know? Certainly you have such esteem and affection for me, you will give me the answer whenever I ask it.
Yes, but I will not always be there to give you the answer. You must be able to answer it for yourself in case someone asks you.
People here never ask questions like that. Even if I told them, they wouldn't know if it was right or not.
You said you're trying to lift that debilitating affliction.
You're getting angry. What's the point of being educated if you get angry? When you didn't ask me such questions, you always said the loveliest of things to me. Is this what it's like to be intelligent?
No. Sophia, it is I who am not being intelligent. It is impatience and frustration and anger that drives me to such crude behavior. Forgive me. May we start over? Okay. So, 1 plus 1 is 2. Repeat.
1 plus 1 is 2. Repeat.
No, don't repeat the word repeat. Just repeat what I say before the word repeat. 1 plus 1 is 2. Repeat.
What were you like as a little boy?
Was I like as a little boy?
You're shouting again.
I was probing, inquisitive, wondering why we were put on this earth and what the purpose of man's existence
The
was.
purpose of man's existence.
Sophia, quite enough of that. You must stop asking me questions.
Then how am I to learn?
I must not answer what you want me to answer, but you must answer what I ask you to answer.
Then I will only learn what you want me to know. Why can't I learn what I want to know?
Because what you want to know is of no practical value, but what I want to teach you is acceptable knowledge.
Is knowing what you were like as a little boy not acceptable knowledge?
Certainly not. It's of no significance at all.
But it's much more interesting than that which is significant.
But I'm not trying to interest you, I am trying to educate you.
I know, but while you fail to educate me, you never fail to interest me. I find that very significant.
Well, there's nothing the logic of an illogical mind. Maybe start over again.
She must be speaking rather like a bunny by now.
This is going to take. I haven't sold sausage all morning.
Good morning, Dr. Zubritsky.
What's going on?
Dr. Zubritsky, I have an urgent letter for Schoolmaster Tolchinsky.
Quiet, please. This is a school zone.
I have an important letter for him. It's marked urgent, so I only went to 3 roundhouses first.
Can't you see he's busy? Bring it back later.
I think he's teaching her gymnastics. I don't like the way this is going. I just don't like the way this is going.
Let us pray. Let us pray that this young man will deliver us from bondage. Let us ask the Lord for his blessing. Very religious on this side, semi-religious on the other. Quiet, everyone. Master Tolchinsky has something to say. Oh God, please let this be the answer to our prayers.
Amen!
So, is my daughter, empty or full?
Well, she is the same as always, but I don't have much time, so I must ask this of you quickly. Dr. Zubritsky, I would like to ask for your daughter's hand in marriage. I ask this of you now, while I still love her. Because in a minute, I may not know what the word means. So, when the church steeple strikes 9, I pray to God that you will have an answer for me.
He's a nice young man. Very ambitious. I'll give him that. I don't know. Linnea, what do you think?
If the man can't break a simple curse, how is he going to put bread on the table?
And what about Tremble?
Who?
Tremble! Up on the hill, the one who throws the water.
Michigan's right. The curse would never allow it.
Well, wait, there is one chance. If a stranger marries a Korean before he becomes like us, then he is free to take her away from here.
Well, I didn't know that.
It was added to the curse 2 years ago to make it more exciting.
You would never see your daughter again, but you know she was happy and getting smarter every day.
Oh, doctor, please give your permission.
If you don't give it to her, give it to me.
I don't know. It's a decision. I can't make decisions. Let's leave it to God. Let God make the decision.
Leon, what are you doing?
Oh, just having my last thoughts. One final, pleasurable moment of reason.
And I was right. Wish is something you hope for that doesn't come true.
No. Sophia, I'm sorry. I can't help you soar over lakes and mountains, but I will not leave you. I will remain in Kulyanchikov for the rest of my days, not basking in the light of your beauty, but cowering in the darkness of my own ignorance. For that is the measure of my esteem and affection for you.
I would do anything to save you from this calamity. Anything! Run, Leon, run for your life. There are ignorant girls in other villages you can learn to love.
Sophia.
Listen, the church bell.
Remember what I say. Say it.
Time is up.
I may never say these words again. The way that I gaze lovingly into your eyes as I do.
Say it, husband. Give them permission to marry quickly.
All the love I would give you must be compressed into a final instant.
Yes! I'll go in there and give my permission right now.
Why, Sophia? I did not love you long, but I love you.
I'll just wait to see what time it is now.
Now, I want you to tell everyone in ZCHS.
9 o'clock, you know.
Wonderful news, Master Tolchinsky.
Mama, Papa, everyone. The schoolmaster has something he would like to say. Let's all listen. Leon, did you want to say something?
Yes, but you said we should all listen.
Oh.
He's got a look on his face. I've seen it before.
To see what you've got on your face.
No. And then we will all listen while you tell us what you have to say.
Oh, thank you. Well, actually, I don't have much to say.
Well, there's no flocking
Young man, do you still want to marry my daughter?
Marry your daughter? Oh, no, sir. You do me too great an honor.
I knew I'd never make it when you thought that whitefish from me.
All right, everyone, let's keep it moving. You've all seen a knitting move before. Let's go, keep it moving along.
If you ever want this urgent letter, just let me know. Not that anything in your life is urgent anymore.
Sophia, go in the garden, plant some vegetables. We'll have salad tonight for dinner.
So, young man, what are your plans now that everything has fallen apart at the top?
Oh, well, the absence of thought will take some getting used to.
You might try politics. You sound very well suited for it.
Oh, no, this is an old suit. If I went into politics, I'd have to buy all new clothes.
This is just one doctor's opinion, but when you catch a curse, you really catch a curse. Don't stay up too late. I want you to go on the roof later and take the canary for a walk.
Sophia, weren't we in the middle of a lesson? What were we saying?
You said that you loved me and that I should savor it and keep it as a memory. Because soon you would not love me ever again. Do you not love me now, Leon?
Love you? Well, I'm not quite sure what the word means. Perhaps if you kissed me, would you like to?
With all my heart.
No, I meant with
I
you.
know what you meant. The less you know, the better you kiss.
The better I kiss, the more brilliant I become. Sophia, look at me. Look at me and tell me what you see.
I see.
A very good kisser.
Dirtying my father's sofa.
No. You see a man of intellect inspired by love. I'm not cursed. I'm only pretending to be stupid.
You pretended to be stupid.
Oh, yes.
That doesn't sound very intelligent to me.
It will soon, I promise.
But the curse.
Well, it had no effect on me. And to mind you, I was plenty worried, especially when the church steeple struck 9, but I realized something. You can only be cursed unless, well, you permit yourself to be. Koyenchikov's ignorance is entirely self-inflicted. caused by relinquishing your self-esteem to a tyrannical power. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Everything. But the explanation.
Okay. So, if you grow up with your parents telling you you are a naughty child, you will spend your whole life thinking you are a horrible person. And from the day you were born, you were all told that you were stupid. Now do you understand?
Not as well as before.
I realize it's easier said, but you must be shown it. So, standing there, I came upon a plan to break this curse and to save everyone in Koyachikov.
What is it?
You must marry Yusakevich.
Are you still pretending to be stupid?
No, I don't mean Count Gregor.
Thank goodness you had me breaking out of bed.
No, you will marry me. I will be Yusakevich. Do you understand?
Don't ask me that question anymore.
No. Sophia. Tomorrow, there will be a wedding. Tomorrow we will break this curse. Tomorrow you will be intelligent. Tomorrow you will love me.
Can I have a kiss just to tide me over?
Oh, of course, my sweet.
I'm so excited, Leon. Tonight, I will clear all of the nonsense out of my head to make way for all of the new knowledge coming in. I love rearranging things.
Well, I must go set my plan into motion. It's time to find Count Yusakevich.
Was he just talking about me? Do you like him, don't you? Better than me, right? Admit it! I'm a hero. I wouldn't have to wear this dumb outfit. People would applaud when I come on. All you care about is getting those two kids together. I hope it's raining when you leave here.
Oh! Well, good day, Count Yusakevich. Do you remember me? Something Tolchinsky.
Listen to this conversation. What is it, something?
Well, even though I've lost most of my intelligence...
All of it?
All of it? It does pain me to know you were so unhappy.
Oh, it's easy for you to say. You don't like me either, do you?
Well, I don't dislike you.
But do you like me?
No, not much.
You see?
Well, it's because you never do anything redeeming. Why not?
I don't know. I was brought up that way, I guess. My father taught me since I was a little boy that if you want to hold your power over these people, you must never be nice to them. Always make them fear and tremble.
Did you like your father?
No, he was alright, I guess.
You didn't like him, did you?
Don't tell anyone. When I was 9 months old, I tried to crawl away from home.
That's... Oh, don't you see? The answer to being liked is to do something redeeming. For the village, perhaps. Can't you think of anything at all to do for the village?
Do you mean like a barbecue?
Well, not exactly, but it's a start. I was thinking something on a much grander scale. Say, perhaps, lifting the curse.
How can I? It won't be lifted unless Sophia marries me.
What if you would have a son?
But I'm not even married! I may be a villain, but I don't fool around. Maybe that's why I'm so unhappy.
Well, you know, you don't have to be married to have a son. You could adopt.
Adopt a son who?
Me!
You.
Well, yes, I'm, single, ready and willing. We can go sign the adoption papers right now.
I've always wanted a son. Someone to take on fishing trips.
Well, I never really had a father.
My boy Leon, I'd spoil you like anything.
That's okay, Dad.
And then people would like me, wouldn't they?
Yes, of course. course, look at them now. They're smiling at you.
You don't know what this means to me.
Well, come on, let's go sign those adoption papers and notify Sophia's family. Are you ready?
Let me just watch them smiling at me again. Thank you, all of you. Maybe we can all get lunch together next week. In the meantime, you're all invited to my son's wedding. The first thing I'm going to do is have your shoes bronzed.
This time tomorrow, we're gonna be curse-free.
I just had a terrible thought.
What's that?
Suppose I left the curse and I found I was really stupid in the first place. Oh, quiet, quiet. I have sponge cake in the oven.
Okay, now if I appear stupid, it is only because I am pretending. It's all part of the plan.
You must be so proud of him.
He's been my son for 10 minutes, and he's never given me a moment of trouble.
There must be those her. Give me her change of address.
We are gathered here today, dear friends, to witness the joining of two souls in holy matrimony. Now, it is only with the goodwill and generous benevolence of our dear friend the Count that makes this blessed union possible.
Thank you, Count.
Will the groom please step before me?
That's you, my kid.
And will the bride please step forward?
Oh, no, Sophia, the bride.
What's the matter with you?
Leon, her plan was brilliant.
Thank you, Sophia.
And who gives away this bride?
I give away this bride.
Why do you give it away, this bride?
Because he asketh me for her, and I nodded my head, and he taketh her.
Do you, Leon, son of Count Gregor Mikhailovich Breznovsky Fyodor Yusuf?
No, you don't have to do it today. It's a holiday.
It's very nice of you.
No.
Do you, Leon, take Sophia to have and to hold from this day on?
I have.
No, I do.
You do?
No, you do.
He does. He will. Say it.
He does? He will, I said
Don't say what I say. Say what he says.
it! What did he say?
I do. Just say I do.
Well, my papa says I do.
I'm beginning to hate this curse, I swear to God.
And do you, Sophia, take Leon in sickness and in health, for better or for worse, for as long as you both shall live?
I do.
have it. The ring that Kazimir Yusukevich was going to place on the young Sophia 200 years ago.
Place the ring on the finger.
Okay.
No. Her finger.
Right? No.
Very handy around the house.
Repeat after me, please. With this ring, I be wed.
With this ring, I be wed.
Just the bride and groom, thank you.
With this ring, I be wed.
Before I pronounce this blessed union, is there any amongst you who has just cause or reason why Leon and Sophia should not be joined in eternal wedlock? Then, with the power invested in me as Chief Magistrate of the village of Kulyanchikov, I now pronounce...
Well, maybe there's one tiny little thing.
You have an objection to this marriage?
You bet I do. This boy is not my son. This son is not my boy.
Well, what are you saying, Father?
You think I'm crazy? Why would I give a cute little bundle of noodle brains like her?
The adoption papers.
They're false. You trust me so much you didn't even read them. Here are the documents as... Here are the documents as proof. I did not adopt him, I divorced him. According to these documents, we are not father and son. We are no longer husband and wife.
Oh, dear God, my daughter must marry a divorced woman.
Leon, this is part of the plan.
No, Sophia, I'm sorry.
But, fear not, dear friends. I may be a venomous, treacherous snake, but I'm not gonna blanket. There will be a wedding.
My daughter will not marry an imposter.
An impostor, no, but a Yusukevich, yes. You have pledged your daughter's hand in marriage, good doctor, to Yusukevich, and, pledge once given must be honored.
That is the law. Felt right in the center.
It's true. I even voted for it.
And I am the only true Yusukevich here! Ha 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 ha!
Leon, will you not object to this marriage?
Sophia, what can I do? I'm helpless.
Come on, I haven't all day.
Let's get this over with. There's been a hotel room booked for this honeymoon for 200 years.
Oh, I'm sorry, daughter. With all my heart, truly sorry.
Dearly beloved.
Oh, you did that. We heard that part. I do. Ask her. She's the one.
And you, Sophia, take Count Gregor to have in the hold from this day on.
Say it, darling. You'll be rich and smart. It's better than happiness.
Goodbye, Leon. Goodbye forever. I do.
Then, with the power invested in me as Chief Magistrate of the village of Kulyanchikov...
Wait a minute! You didn't say the other part.
What other part?
The part that if anybody objects, and I object.
What's that?
On what grounds?
On the grounds that I did not receive my urgent letter.
What kind of grounds is that?
For Schoolmaster Tolchinsky.
For me? Oh, whatever.
Sir, I was reading the letter.
I can't do that. It's against the law.
It's true. I even voted for it.
It's bad news, I'm afraid. My uncle, my sole remaining relative, has just died in St. Petersburg, leaving me nothing but all of his debts.
Well, when it's going downhill, it gets fast at the bottom.
He says he blames all his misfortune on his vindictive, distant relatives, and that even changing his name to Tolchinsky did not allow him to escape destiny's finger.
What was his name before Tolchinsky?
Yusukevich.
Those distant relatives will haunt you every time.
Leon, do you realize what this means?
No, what?
He will in a few moments. Schoolmaster, go take your place next to my daughter. This time, she's gonna marry the right one.
He didn't say that at all. It's a bill from my former college saying I still owe them for last year's tuition. Well, now I've planted the bomb in their minds, and I pray to God for the explosion.
Hurry up. Places, everyone. do not want to spend the rest of my life marrying this girl. Now, are we ready, everyone?
Yes.
Do we
I do.
Do you, Sophia?
I do.
If there's anyone here who objects...
No one objects!
Going once, going twice, going 3 times, that's it. I now pronounce you man and wife.
What was that terrible noise?
It's as though my head cracked open.
Like what?
Like my head had cracked open. I'm afraid to ask it.
Ask it.
No, what if I'm wrong?
What if we're right? Ask it.
Cat.
Cat. C A T. Dog. D O G. Dog. Miracle. M-I-R-A-C-L-E.
Hey, it's 7 and 5. 12 and 12. 24. And 48. 72. Athens, Bucharest, Cairo, London, and...
Oh, come on.
The quality of mercy is not strained. It droppeth like gentle rains from heaven.
That's beautiful. Did you make that up?
I think so. Well,
I feel funny. Weak in the knees. A dizziness in my head.
It's all right, my dear. Your blood is just pulsating from the excitement. Sometimes that can cause the adrenal glands to oversecrete, resulting in a sudden rush to the head.
Oh, I never realized you were such a brilliant doctor.
I'm just an average doctor. I worry about you because I love you, my dear.
Oh, and I love you, Nikolai. Even when I couldn't say it in my heart, I knew I loved you.
Leon, are you now as you were before I became what I am?
More than I ever could have dreamed.
I love you, Leon.
You mean it's over? The curse is over?
See for yourself, Count Gregor.
Land! Should put my money in land. You can never go wrong with real estate. It depends, of course, on the political situation. In a czarist government, land reform is a delicate issue.
Brilliant conversation. All my power then is gone!
Power is a useless tool over the enlightened, Count Gregor. We are all equal citizens here.
You mean men are equal citizens here. Women have been subjugated long before there were any curses.
Linnea, you know I love you, but that is a very radical point of view.
It was your faith encouraged the one of our ignorance.
No, it was your pure of heart, not my puny efforts.
I don't wish to argue the point, Leon. I just think you should allow me room to express my own views.
Well, I welcome your views, but I do not think you should be so adamant until you have all the facts.
Well, you got your wish, schoolmaster.
Yes, and what will you do now with your newfound intelligence, Count?
Well, next year I'll probably have to work for a living. Well, cousin, my congratulations. I wish you a long and happy marriage.
Well, thank you, and I wish you the same good fortune.
Please, I've been cursed once in my life. I know when I'm well off.
Well, be honest with yourselves. Haven't we all met someone from a place like Kulyanchikov? An aunt, an uncle, a neighbor, your boss. And after the curse was lifted, we became like any other small town in any other part of the world, susceptible to the ups and downs of everyday life. The magistrate, for example, after 2 more years in office, he went to jail. He was taking bribes for political favors. While he was there, though, he wrote his memoirs and sold them for a fortune. Michigan gave up the postal service and became a writer, and wrote a 600-page story about the curse of Kulyanchikov. Unfortunately, when she sent it off to a publisher, it got lost in the mail. Yenchna, a very shrewd businesswoman, bought 17 houses in Koyenchikov, including Count Gregor's up on the hill. And as a future investment, bought land in 6 other towns with curses. Slavich, well, she bought 4 butcher shops in a town that only needed 1, and went bankrupt in a month. Confirming her worst fears that even with some intelligence, she didn't have much brains at all. Snetsky, well, with his newfound intelligence, he did find a sheep, and he sold his wool, and now is a wealthy philanthropist. Count Yuzikevich, well, he became more and more likable, and studied theology, and is now the town monk. And in the dry seasons, he goes up on the hill and prays to God to throw water down on us. My dear mother-in-law, Mrs. Zubritsky, found a voice of her own and became the first woman mayor of Koyenchikov and eventually consul governor to the northern Ukraine sector. Her husband sees her by appointment only. As for Dr. Zubritsky, well, he became the royal physician's physician and was recently elected into the College of Science and Arts. He still, though, has trouble opening up jars. And as for Sophia, she was, and still is, a miracle. And that's not to say that we don't have our differences and that all our days are blissfully happy, but she taught me that no matter how bad the world can get, it can always be overcome by the pure of heart, and in turn became my teacher. Well, and as for myself, I remained a teacher and dedicated my life to the unenlightened, because after all, there are so many places like Koyenchikov in the world.